Hello, thanks for tuning in. It's Stuart here, Classical Record Collector. I'm going through 3 big job lots of records on eBay. I'm going to be looking at the price, I'm going to be looking at what they're selling and evaluating whether it's worth it. So let's start with the first one. So we've got here huge job lot, 4,000 vinyl records, LP, opera, classical bundle, unsorted C video. Okay, well here we are on the item. He's asking £900. Yep, £900, 4,000 records. So let's see. That's what, 20 pence a record, 22.5 pence a record maybe. Just doing some rough mathematics there. Sounds like a bargain, right? Well, not necessarily. I mean, I made a video a few weeks ago saying that for a collection of 2,000 records, you would need to pay me £200 to pick them up and take them away. So, you know, 4,000 records aren't necessarily worth 25 pence each, although a lot of people would like to think that they are. But let's just sort of go through them. First of all, have a look at the description. Let's have a look. We have a massive quantity of vintage vinyl records from 60s onwards to the 80s. Okay, fair enough. That's a good time period. Mostly opera. That's bad. These are a huge lifetime collection from someone with exquisite taste and refinement, a mix of labels, all in generally good condition. We have briefly started to sort through, maybe around 500 or so, and these are included. The rest are genuinely unsorted. There are collectible examples of Decca, EMI, HMV labels. Well, it would be nice to see some of those. There are hundreds of vinyl box sets. That's bad. Due to weight, you will need a large van, truck, etc. We are based on the North Wales coast. All right, he says it works out at 30p a record. Well, less than that, I think. We are VAT registered. Okay, so that includes VAT then. Okay, well, let's sort of first, we're going to look at the video, but first of all, let's have a look at the pictures. Let's just expand this out. So what can we see from here? Not a lot, really. I think that, you know, if people are going to put pictures up, they need to, I mean, that this is a waste here, because you just can't see. There's no information. It just shows you, well, there's minimal information. It shows you how many there are. There are a lot, yeah, but what are they? But we can see here. Okay, well, he said that most of them are opera. Well, that is bad, because look, I'm in the business, and I'll tell you something, opera doesn't sell. I mean, orchestral doesn't sell either, really. In fact, hardly anything sells, which, you know, is not really looking good. Unless it's a sort of hot collectible, you know, you can't really be guaranteed to sell it. So I'm looking here, and I'm seeing records which I know, you know, nobody will want. A record of singers. We've got an EMI set there that looks like historical opera. What have we got here? Manon Lescaut, Montezuma. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you can see it's mostly all opera. It looks like mostly sort of 70s EMI box sets, DG box sets. And I can tell you that, you know, when I was in the business at my peak in the 90s, when I could even shift 4-digit ASDs for a £5 each, even bog standard ones like, you know, Adrian Bolt. At one time, yeah, believe it or not, I could shift those by the cartload. But even in those days, opera sets, basic 70s opera sets didn't sell. The only opera sets that would sell are like SXL opera sets. You know, some of the SCTs would sell, not many though. And I mean, hardly anything else in opera would sell. The EMI Angel box sets, they could sell. Some of those would sell, like Carmen, the White Angel one, and some of those, but most of them, opera is just not a big seller in classical music. I mean, for me, it's my top genre. I mean, I'm a big opera fan. I love opera, but I'm just talking as somebody who also has sold records and sells records. They're very, very difficult to shift. And it makes me laugh when people come to me and say, I've got a big collection. Oh, there are lots of box sets, like it's a good thing. No, it's an absolutely terrible thing that there are lots of box sets. They're the hardest things to sell. So that's not very good. Now he's made a video. So we haven't touched anything on this side whatsoever. I'm not going to go through the video. He's made a 3.5 minute video. and there's not really much information there, just that, you know, they've got records, they've sorted through some, and, you know, there are loads and loads of records, and there must be some collectibles in there. Well, not necessarily. So I haven't seen any so far that might be collectibles. And again, I can't really see much here. That's Lucia de Lammermoor. Can't even see what that is, which label. List, complete something. I mean, it's so difficult here to see what is there. But yeah, I mean, most of it looks like vocal. Gluck, Orfeo in Eurydice. Yep, so let's have a look. Yeah, there's those. Oh yeah, the record of singing. Oh yeah, that set, I remember that. Oh, that was a difficult set to sell. It always was difficult. I mean, sometimes people tell me, no, Stuart, you're wrong, times have changed, that now sells. Well, okay, if you know, I'm updating my knowledge all the time, and if you see me make a comment, you realize, yeah, that actually does sell, by the way, then yeah, of course, let me know. But I really don't think that, I mean, these records here, you know, intuitively, you might think, yeah, they've got to be worth 25 pence each. But think about all the work you've got to do uplifting them. And yeah, you can't see what these are. Let's have a look here. No, looks like a very boring collection, I'm afraid. Unless, yeah, I mean, obviously for an opera fan, but most opera collectors will already have the operas they want. Like me, for example. I've got most of the operas that I want, so the last thing I need is all these. And I mean, I'm telling you now that you could try and list 100 opera sets on eBay for 30 quid and they wouldn't sell because of the cost of sending them or picking them up. Or so, you know, this doesn't look to me like a collection worth buying, I'm sorry to say. What's that? Uig, Younger, France, Lehar. Oh, I see. Okay. Actually, I've not seen that before, but doesn't really mean it's worth much. Forza del Destino. So yeah, just okay. Well, look, more opera here. Verdi. Looks like a lot of bel canto. Yeah, well, a Callas. It really does look like a huge opera set. Now there might be some collectibles there. I mean, who knows? Maybe he's got the Callas Lucia de Lammermoor on Columbia SAX, 2 blue silvers, which in mint condition is probably, you know, near mint condition is probably going to fetch about £400 or something. But somehow I doubt it. I think that with these big collections on eBay, if I was selling a big job lot like this, I would go through the whole lot. I would pick out the cherries, keep them by, and I would try and shift all the chaff, which I think is what most people try and do. So there we are. So my assessment is, I mean, if you're a huge opera fan and you've got the room and you want to go through this lot, then yeah, I mean, maybe £900, but personally, I wouldn't be interested, and I don't think that will sell for £900. I just think that most opera fans have already got what they need, and I mean, those records just won't sell. So it's not like you can sort of, unless there are some hot collectibles in there, you can sell the best ones and then you can have what's left over. But I don't think that's the case. All right, let's move on to the next one. Here we are, private collection of over 900 classical vinyl LPs, £924. Okay, so what, about £1 a disc? And this is what I want to see when people post pictures. I was going to say, let's have a look at the spines. Yeah, but take a clear picture, won't you? Look at this. We can't even see, can we? We can't see what's there. Oh, that's no good. I can't read that. That's useless. What about here? Well, that's a Decca Jubilee. I can tell that. That is a digital Decca. It's difficult to tell here. Mozart. Now, that looks like these look like they could be stereos. What is that? HMS. Is that HMS Pinafore? That's possibly Gilbert and Sullivan. So again, that's pretty much useless. The silly fool. Why doesn't he take a clear photo so that we can actually see? What's that? Masterworks, CBS Masterworks. Well, that's nothing. again, it's very difficult. These look like 4-digit ASDs. I mean, potentially, you know, these, I mean, when the spines are white and thick, it tends to indicate that they could potentially be like early ASDs and Columbias, but unfortunately it's very difficult to tell what's here. I just can't make out the writing here. Yeah. Okay, let's see if he's got anything clear, because you only need one clear lot and then you can gauge what's in the rest of the collection. No, that's no good as well. Those are CRDs by the looks of it. More DGs, 70s DGs. It's crazy. No. They look like archives. I mean, they might be interesting if I could see what they are. Who knows? They might be the Bach Fourniers or something like that. But that looks like J.S. Bach. Digital stereo. Okay, so we know that that's an 80s record, which kind of doesn't bode well, because if you want to try and pay for the collection with some early stereos, maybe, then you know, 80s records are probably not going to do it. All right, let's move on. No, really, it's sad, isn't it? He's not taking good photos here, so you can't see what he's selling. Yeah, not one single good photo. More EMIs, EMI digital. Yeah, so I mean, my assessment of this collection, based on what I can see, it looks to me like it's a sort of 80s, 70s, 80s set. He's put release year 1950 to 1999. Let's see what he's put here. 900 vinyl collection, classical only, symphonies, orchestral. Well, that's good at least. No opera. Virtual, none from easy listening genre. No Mantovani. Okay, well, good. Labels from Larita, EMI, Philips, Erato, DGG, Telefunken. Very little budget labels. No Decabord of classics. Reader's Digest. We'll send in 10 boxes to UK mainland postcodes. You know, I might send him a message and I might say, why don't you take better photos, because nobody can see what you're selling. I mean, this collection looks better than that other one. If I had to choose between having these for £900, yeah, he's got a make offer thing here. I mean, I could make him an offer, say, for 700, but I would rather have these for 900 records for £900 than that opera collection, 4,000 for 900 or £1,000, whatever he was asking. This one looks more promising. It's just that I can't. Here's one here. Look, the New World Symphony, Dvorak. What is that? Toscanini. Oh no, not Toscanini. I can't stand Toscanini. Actually, I actually hate Toscanini's conducting. I mean, he conducts at 1,000,000 miles an hour. You should hear his Mozart Jupiter Symphony. He just absolutely thrashes through it from start to finish. It's just unlistenable. I don't see what the big fuss is about Toscanini. I can't stand Toscanini. Anybody disagree with me? Weber Clarinet Concerto. Yeah, I mean, I like the repertoire here a lot more. Handel organ music, Vaughan Williams, Rodrigo, World of Mechanical Organs. Well, that's not good. We don't want to see organ music. Karajan, what's that? Tristan and Isolde, Prelude, etc. That looks to me like it's a 33CX probably. So, I mean, I can't really see anything exciting here. Yeah, I can't see anything exciting. And let's face it, the odds are that if there's anything good here, that he's already taken. I mean, look, we've got here, okay, we've got to do some detective work. Beethoven Concertos 1 and 2, Gilels, 33CX 1697, I think that is. Now that means that there's probably a stereo of that. So he may have a collection where there are lots of monos, where there is a stereo, a lot of Columbias, 33CXs, a lot of ALPs, where there's a corresponding ASD and SAX. So yeah, I mean, the problem is £900 for 900 records. This is the sort of collection that personally I'd want to pay £200 for. 200 quid. And who knows, I might make him an offer of 200 quid. Located in Bury St Edmunds. Well, it's a long way for me to come for that collection. But no, I wouldn't pay that amount for it. 200 or 300 based on what I've seen, because I mean I can't. Yeah, his just pictures are awful. Okay, let's move on. Now I can't remember whether I've reviewed this one before. So this one's been on for a while. Mint vinyl violin, cello orchestral, job lot ASD, thousands rare classical, and he's asking £4,000. Well, let's have a look. Well, he certainly seems to have some early stereos here, although again he's not showing the full picture, is he? So you don't know whether these are monos or stereos, but really Suk is not collectible. Well, we don't know what that is. Brahms, double concerto, Perlman, that's going to be, isn't it? Kyung Hwa Chung, all right, that's okay. Sering, Tchaikovsky and Hakaturian, Mendelssohn and Schumann. Sering, well, again, that could be good if it's stereo. Mozart and Spohr. Prokofiev, Stern, well, that's a CBS. Nope. Okay, let's move on. What have we got here? Oh, all right, here we are. Now we're talking. ASD, 4-digit, Menuhin, no thank you, no good. Menuhin, Beethoven. Oh dear, we've got a Menuhin fan here, that's a problem. Double concerto, these are ASDs, really worth hardly anything at all. Bartok, violin sonata. Yeah, I mean, actually, that's the sort of thing I'd be personally interested in, but it's not a big money record. Brahms double concerto, Stern, Brahms violin concerto on CBS, no doubt. No, I mean, none of these are really worth much at all. There's a Grumio there, mono, couple of Perlmans. Perlmans don't really sell. They're not really worth paying significant money for. Nigel Kennedy, I can't see anything that's worth any money really. And if you're paying £4,000 for a collection, you better make sure that there are some valuable records there. No, nothing here. Oh dear, Menuhin and Furtwängler. Nope, not worth paying anything for. Yeah, he's never going to sell these. He's absolutely never going to sell these. Okay, so we've got a ton of Ace of Diamonds. No, Ace of Diamonds. I mean, 100 Ace of Diamonds, I'd pay £25. Right, Brahms Symphony number 4. Well, now actually, this is the only thing that interests me. The 4 Brahms Symphony Kubelik, the 4 SXL 2000s. I would love to have that set. I think they're absolutely marvelous recordings and performances. That's something I would like to have, but you know, that's just, I presume they're SXLs and not Ace of Diamonds, because they look kind of old. Answer May, Beethoven 9, it's the worst of the Answer May SXLs. Again, more Answer May there, but there's just nothing here that you can really convert into money, really, to pay for them. And again, it's no doubt the situation that the case that he has taken out the best records. He's probably auctioned them on eBay already to get some good money in, and now he's just getting rid of all those that he wouldn't auction off one at a time. Look at that, it's got stacks of Ace of Diamonds. Again, more here. No, look at that, more Ace of Diamonds than I've ever seen. He's probably got every single Ace of Diamond, which would be quite something, and they are really good pressings, but you know, I mean, they're just not worth that amount of money. Zimmerman Triple Concerto, yeah, okay, we've seen those I think already. Yeah, so he said there's 4,000. I don't think we've looked at 4,000 there. Sorry, did he say there's 4,000? How many did he say there are? Several thousand, he says. Cherished classical LP collection. Fairest price on eBay. Discogs, you name it. Demonstrably super low price per LP, so bluntly speaking, don't waste my time with any offers or ridiculous cherry picking propositions. Most of my LPs are in absolute mint condition, vinyl as new, most sleeves are near mint, many very good, nothing substandard. Classical vinyl LP job lot, etc. A meticulously organised audiophiles collection with over 1,500 hours worth of high quality vintage recordings. Okay, not to be confused with many useless cherry-picked ramshackle vinyl record job lots offered all over eBay. Well, I'm sorry mate, I don't believe you. I've not seen any evidence there that you've not cherry-picked this. I think you have. I don't think you're telling the truth. So let's see, what are these hot collectibles that you've got in there? You know, you've got to be showing us some high value records to warrant somebody spending £4,000 on a ton of Ace of Diamonds, 4-digit ASDs, Perlman, Menuhin and the like. So don't insult our intelligence. Your collection is not worth £4,000, and I wouldn't even bother wasting my time making you an offer, frankly. If I did, it would be something like £500. Okay, that's it. That's my opinion. And I've had somebody leaving a comment on my channel saying I shouldn't be doing this because it's going to harm these sellers. It's going to, you know, harm their prospects. Well, why? I mean, I'm just presenting my opinion. People are out there selling things, whether it be companies or individuals. On YouTube, we've got a right to comment. It's exactly the same as hi-fi review magazines. You could say, oh, don't leave a bad review on that you know, that £5,000 turntable, because you might damage that company's prospects of selling that turntable. No, that's stupid. The whole thing that makes YouTube work and that makes the world work is freedom of expression. And I'm giving you my opinion on what people are selling. And these three collections, I don't think they're worth anything like the money. And I wouldn't recommend anybody to buy them. Okay, thanks a lot for watching. I hope you enjoyed that and look forward to your comments. Bye for now.